Alrighty, folks. Hey, everybody. Taking over the breakfast chat from TJ today. TJ is on vacation, and so I'm here with the lovely Randy.
Thank you. I'm with the lovely Laurel.
It was so much fun anchoring with you today.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure because we don't get a chance to see each other that often.
No.
It's usually like two ships passing. Every now and again, I see you when I'm filling in on night side, but I don't always get a chance to hang out with you.
Every once in a while. So it's always so fun, and especially like with the people that I don't get to see very often, like we have such a blast. And this morning show went by so quick today.
It really did. Like halfway through, I was like, oh my gosh, my time is wrapping up. My time is wrapping up.
And I also find it crazy because I feel like we kind of have to address the elephant in the room. It is scorching hot outside, and we're here in sweatshirts over here.
They're like, wait a minute, Laurel just said it was going to be hot, and they are sitting there in cardigans, and what is this, a fleece?
A fleece. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but behind the scenes, this is a good behind the scenes. So this is the weather office that we're in right now. We just moved into our brand new studio this week. This
nice
was
and shiny.
Your first time.
This was my first time seeing the studio at all. In my life.
What'd you think?
It is so nice. The elements of technology that have been built in. So excited to think about how we can showcase the news for viewers and try to make it as interactive and immersive as possible. So many places to sit and stand. It's like a kid in the candy shop. I was telling one of the directors, it's so shiny, I just want to touch everything. And then they'll come behind me like, what are all these fingerprints?
I know. Yeah, so the glass, what is it? Like plastic or whatever the glass is on the table.
Yeah.
I always get yelled at because I like to touch the desk and like put my hands on the desk and I leave so many fingerprints.
Laurel was here.
Laurel was here.
Right, followed by Randy.
Oh, I kind of like that. All right, Randy. So we have a couple of stories. We ran these in the newscast earlier on today, and I want to talk a little bit more about them because not only do we have just some amazing kids that we talked about during the news today, but also a couple of more, I wouldn't want to say controversial, but kind of controversial.
A little bit, or we'll just say interesting.
Interesting is the best word for it.
And you take what you want from that.
Yeah, so we'll just leave it. Fall may be coming a little bit too early. I'll give you a hint there. But hey, let's start off with these amazing kids that we have here. This is from our Fox 35 website, and you can see all of the stories right here. But I want to talk about first the first Little League state champions of softball. Lake Mary is back in the champs.
It was so humbling, one, to see these little kids doing excellent, amazing, wonderful things. And in the soundbite that we ran earlier, one of the players talked about the hustle that they had.
Yeah.
And I think she said on their practice jersey or their practice t-shirt that they had kind of a push for themselves to try to get to the next level. They're going to play in, they just beat Virginia. I think it was 8-1.
Crazy.
To advance to the next level, and that was already their mindset. And it's so just interesting hearing young people talk about, setting those kinds of goals and conquering those types of goals and the mindset that you have to have at that age of, I'm going to crush this and move on to the next level.
No, it's amazing. And I think we're going to have the softball team sometime this week. If not, I believe Monday. I think I overheard them here on Fox 35, which is so exciting.
So here's the thing. If you're tracking we're going to go ahead and call it their success story.
Which is true, yeah.
Yes. Well, once to get to this point, excellent, amazing, wonderful, but we are believing that they will take it all the way, World Series next month in Greenville, North Carolina.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So very, very excited to follow their journey. We're believing they're bringing it all the way home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, Lake Mary Baseball did it last year. I have full faith in these girls right here because not only are they intense, but they got grit. I think they're going to take it all.
You could say maybe it's something in the water.
Maybe.
Lake Mary, because you just are breeding champions.
Oh, speaking of breeding champions, so our next story that we have on the list that I want to talk about a little bit. Randy, quick question for you. What were you doing when you were 12 years old?
Well, one I can say, not this.
I can follow you on that one.
I mean, I was active. I danced, but nothing to this level at all.
I was not an all-star by any means.
Oh, goodness. When you looked at my resume at that time, nothing like this.
No, I totally agree. But, oh my goodness, a Lake Mary all-star that brought home the world champion last year is now part of Team USA at 12 years old.
Right.
What?
And it's so funny, you see the 30 under 30 list or the 40 under 40 list of like the excellent, amazing, wonderful people, and it's like maybe one day, and he's doing all of this
At 12?
at 12. And he was so humble in the interview, just in the tone, and just talk. I think he said, I wasn't that great last season, which is, they won it all last year.
Dude, you're doing pretty good if you're taking home a World Cup.
Exactly. And now for him to elevate and be operating and playing at this level, so impressed.
Yeah.
So impressed.
And that's amazing. And knowing that he wants to be better, he's like, yeah, I might have won it all with Lake Mary. I want to even be better than that. And he wants to come back to Lake Mary and kind of share what he learned, which is just incredible. So I think this kid definitely has a good head on his shoulders.
And we'll have to schedule an interview with him when he comes back. What we really need to do is you and I have him and maybe some coaches, because he will need assistants trying to coach us. Take us out to a baseball field, and he has to train us a little bit and see how we do.
Okay, way back in the day, I played softball.
Okay.
I did not play softball for very long. So if that just shows how decent, maybe, that's even giving myself a lot of credit, for anything baseball related, these guys are going to have their work cut out for them, for sure.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to play softball, but I never did. So the bar is even lower for me. You had a couple practices, maybe a couple games.
Okay, yeah, back in like middle, or even before middle school, elementary school. So this is going like way deep in the Laurel archives here. Okay, we'll talk about your past sports in a little bit. But
yes.
Here's where the controversy lays. And if you're watching, definitely let us know what you think of this, because Starbucks.
Some hot takes about this.
First off, I stand hard. I respect the fall season starting in like mid-September when fall officially starts. Anything earlier than that, I feel like you're disrespecting summer.
But you're not giving each season its time to shine.
I feel the same thing about Christmas. I need to get through Thanksgiving before I can think about Christmas. Christmas shopping, different story. I start in July.
So you will shop early.
Yes.
You just don't want the decorations out and everything. Okay.
Yes, but when we're talking about fall, Starbucks is going to be releasing their pumpkin spice latte in August. Philadelphia cream cheese has already released their pumpkin spice flavors. I feel like I walked into Hobby Lobby the other day in Home Goods. Halloween was
explosion
everywhere. Everywhere. What's your hot take on this? Do you have a hot take on this?
I do have a hot take. Well, one, it is interesting to have this conversation as we are dealing with the heat in Florida. To talk about a hot drink pumpkin spice latte, and it is, what you said, the feels like will be in the triple digits.
Yeah, we'll be in triple digits today. Feeling like maybe 115, just a brisk.
It's just,
little
just
chilly.
115 degrees. No big deal there. So yeah, my first hot take is, it is hot, and we are talking about pumpkin spice lattes, but also hot take. And, I hope this is a safe space. I don't really like pumpkin spice lattes. I'm really more of a caramel apple spice girl when I go to...
Atta girl.
Yeah. But I respect the iconic drink. I know that people enjoy it and love it and, would love it year-round, and that is excellent, amazing, wonderful. It just might not be my thing.
Okay, I'm actually going to pop up our camera real quick because
so you can look at me.
Yes, so I can look at you on this one.
So you guys can see her looking at me. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
I kind of agree with you.
Oh, okay.
And our camera is moving. Hold on. We'll talk to you on this one. So I agree with you. I am much more of an iced chai kind of girl as opposed to a pumpkin spice latte. I think pumpkin spice, when it's done right, can taste good, and when it's fall, it can taste good. When it's anything before fall, it's like no. I'm also an iced coffee girl. So, and perfect example, that's what I got right here. Again, very brisk, 110 degrees today is what it's going to be feeling like. Anything hot, or even here in Central Florida, anything hot coffee makes me cringe.
When it's hot outside.
I cannot drink a hot drink and it be feeling like
Yeah.
110 outside, possibly a hot take there. So if anyone would like to write in the comments, a couple people on YouTube writing in saying, just writing in where they're from, writing in from Fresno, California.
Yeah, thank you for joining us this
Wow.
morning.
And Facebook people, I see you out there. Definitely let us know if you think Starbucks releasing their pumpkin spice latte.
If it's a little too soon.
I think it's a little bit too soon. So let me hop the camera back over
They
just a
probably
little bit.
could do a tiered release or a rollout, and maybe in the cooler places they may get it August 26th, and then for people who love pumpkin spice lattes, they probably are like, no, Randy, don't don't tell Starbucks that. But for places that are a little bit warmer, release it when it cools a little bit. When it does cool in Florida.
I agree with that. Also, I am a sucker for an apple cider donut. So
haven't
those
had
can
that
be put
before.
out year round.
Yes.
Pumpkin spice latte can strictly stay in the fall.
Gotcha. We would love to hear what you all think about that.
Yeah, let us know. We'll swing back around to this topic in a second, but I do want to pop back up our stories because this one also a little controversial, but I think we both are
On the same page.
on the same page about
Yeah,
this one.
The questions that we have.
All right, so Delta Airline being questioned about their use of AI to set airline prices. What do you think?
So with the story, the company talked about using the technology, looking at supply and demand to figure out how they would set your cost for your flight. And so I can understand using the technology to like have some form of regulation, and you know how intelligent the technology is to be able to consume a lot of information and come up with something. The concern that I have, and the concern that was expressed by some lawmakers, is what that means for airfare. Like, will we see the prices go up? And will I be able to fly home and see my mom? And at what cost?
Exactly. And we were both talking before during the show, and we were also talking here before we kind of got started. Does this mean that those holiday airfares
Right.
are going to be really jacking up? They're already so expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was looking the other day. To get so I'm originally from the Boston area. Getting from Orlando to Boston Thanksgiving week was like $400.
How much does it cost usually?
Usually, so on like off season, I think round trip, my mom just came down and visited. So probably around, I think it was about $200 round trip.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
but more than double. My goodness.
Yeah. And so now it's like, well, what does that mean long term?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be
Some
interesting.
questions. We'll have to continue to watch this one and see.
But interesting story.
And it's certainly it's a talker because so many people travel, and a lot of the conversation is, how much is it going to cost me to get where I need to go, and how quickly do I need to purchase the price? What's the sweet spot?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
usually, like, beginning of summer when kids are getting out, end of summer when kids are just about to go back to school, holidays, vacations, like
Yep.
weekly vacations, or especially during school. Oh my gosh, so expensive to fly.
And I wonder also, and I'm sure this will probably be factored in, because you also have to look at not just where you're traveling, but what day you're leaving.
Yeah.
I was recently home to visit my mom. I'm from Atlanta, and it was cheaper for me to fly home. I think I left Friday morning and then came back Sunday than to leave on Thursday and then come back on Sunday.
Interesting.
It was, but I also took like a 6 a.m., 5 a.m.
Oh,
flight.
okay.
So yeah, they were like, but it was a difference in just, and you know that when you're shopping around for flights, like, okay, well, what day can I leave? What's the cheapest? How do I build my
Exactly.
vacation around my budget?
I would have thought for Friday, though, it would have been more expensive than Thursday.
Yeah, I was surprised. I don't know.
Interesting.
So maybe it was the time of the flight, and we'll see moving forward because I flew Delta, so
Yeah.
we will see.
I was going to say Delta's usually my go-to, but
Mm-hmm.
something that I did learn about Miss Randy over here, you were a cheerleader back in the day.
I was a cheerleader back in the, and when we say back in the day, and I mentioned this because the next story that we're talking about is that viral moment of the Savannah Bananas. And if you're familiar with the team, they are known for their acrobatic skills, and they dance and they put on a good show. Well, our friend that you see right here had his time on CNN, performed a backflip, and you see him, he can do this.
He can pull these things off quite literally out of his pocket.
Yes.
Nobody's business. He can whip out a backflip like
Yes.
no one else.
Well, technically, if someone is watching and they are a cheerleader, It's a backflip, but in cheer terms, it would be
Back
a tuck. Yes, because he didn't put his hands on the ground. And this is that moment. He's on the stage, and he gets ready to do his backflip or his back tuck. And he talked about that viral moment where he fell on his stomach and ended up having to, and you can see their reaction to what just happened.
I don't know if he actually shows it in this video. So this is directly off his Instagram.
Gotcha. Well, he may not have wanted to show it
Oh,
again.
that's true.
But he had to get stitches in his lip and his chin because he planted, and you can see it.
You can see it in the video.
You can see it here because he planted on the ground, on his stomach. His feet did not hit the ground. And he talked about the shiny floor and the lights and, not being able to stick that landing. And I said, back in the day, I couldn't do a tuck, but I could do a back handspring.
Oh, hold on, wait a second. I'm going to stop you right there because I think it's going to show it.
Let's see.
So,
That was the end of that moment.
like he just full on planked.
Yep. And I wonder if his chin hit the ground and his teeth went into, and it caused.
It must have.
Yeah. But he's a good sport about it.
He's a great sport.
He, posted about it, said that he, this viral moment, he is a little embarrassed.
Little
for what
embarrassed.
happened. But I can, resonate with that point about if the floor was shiny and the lights were bright, he may not have been able to stick those feet. You need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
In those moments.
I feel like it also, because even our studio lights, like they are bright. And I feel like
I would
even
never.
kind of get disoriented
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Would never do that here.
Yeah, that was brave, but
That was brave.
good for him.
Good for him. And he is taking ownership of his story and telling his side on his social media.
Hey, he owns it, and he even has the battle scars to be like, I did this on
And
live
this
TV.
is my story. Yes.
All right, Randy. So as we're cuddled up in our little sweaters that
My
we have over
sorority
here,
sweater.
we got to talk about the heat that's outside.
Yeah.
Ooh, it is toasty out there already. So let's actually take a look at the current temperatures. So let's pop up. We'll talk about tropics in just a moment. But our current temperatures of what we have outside right now is already toasty. It is 81 degrees at 10:45 in the morning. It is hot. And this is what it's already going to be feeling like out there. This is what it feels like out there right now. 100 in Bushnell, 100 in the Villages,
Wow.
86 degrees in Orlando, 90s already across the board all along the coast. Are you ready for this heat?
Oh, no.
That's a good answer. But ultimately, do you have any tips for people trying to beat the heat or any favorite ways to beat the heat?
And as you asked me that, I was thinking about what am I going to do today and how can I avoid being outside
Okay, crazy
as much
enough.
as possible.
I love the theme parks and everything. I would feel miserable
Yeah.
at the theme parks today when it's going to be feeling like this at the peak of the day. Who? No.
It's so funny you show the forecast and you're like, whoo, and then there's just a silence as we're taking in the numbers on the screen.
I feel like I can, talk about it a little bit more, but when you actually step, and I'm already kind of dreading stepping outside to kind of go home, take a little bit of a break before I have to come back and do the evening. Stepping outside and just feeling that heat wave.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not excited.
When I put my glasses on to leave, we're so cold inside the building, and then when you step outside, like your glasses fog up.
Instant fog
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. You definitely have to have a plan today if you are out at the theme parks or have outside activities that you have to get done. That water, we had someone, I don't know if you saw on X, one of our viewers tagged us and was like, electrolytes, water, Gatorade.
Yes.
All of the things to make sure that you are really safe in this heat.
Yeah, good advice there. So for the next couple of days, the thermometer is going to read anywhere between a 96 and 100 degrees. Heat index is going to be up to 115. What? Too hot.
Yeah.
I kind of, honestly,
Don't have much to say. It's like I'm preserving my energy for when I have to go outside.
I have to say though, when we're talking about like this kind of heat, it kind of makes me want to try that frying pan on the cement kind of thing.
Oh, and I meant to ask you about that earlier. I was like, is this weather where we need to do tests about putting an egg on the car, putting a cookie sheet in your dashboard
Yes.
and melting, or seeing if you can bake cookies.
I kind of want to try that, not gonna lie. Monday is going to be the hottest day out of the bunch, so remind me to do that on Monday.
Got it.
So that's what we're going to be seeing. And over the next couple of days, yes, being safe in the heat is going to be the biggest thing. Hydrating is going to be huge, but also making sure your furry friends are also staying safe from the heat. So this is for humans, making sure, again, you're staying hydrated. If you are going to wear something outside, wear it light, loose fitting clothing, more on the lighter colors as well. Reapplying that sunscreen.
That's so
horrible.
important. Yeah.
I'm horrible
I'll
at
put
that.
it on at the beginning of the day, and then right before I get ready to go live, I'll remember at that moment to put some more on, but by that time I've already been outside for quite a while.
I am already scorched.
Yeah.
And I was saying this a little bit earlier on, and right now it's kind of almost cutting it close a little bit to like that 11 noon hour. The humidity's already setting in. The sun has already worked its magic. Kind of like before 10 a.m. is if you're trying to do anything crazy, like yard work, going out for a run, doing anything crazy outside. That's when you want to do it, is either earlier on in the morning or later on in the evening.
So you're about to miss your window.
Yes.
If you have not already walked out the door to do that quick activity
Yeah,
in the
10
next
minutes.
10 minutes, then you'll want to wait until around what time?
Probably around 11 is when everything is really going to heat up, 11 a.m., and then slowly starting to cool down by like 7 p.m.
Okay.
is when things should finally start to let
So
up.
if you haven't done it yet, just move that to-do list item or that honeydew item to tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, good advice. But also keeping in mind your pets are also need to go outside. They need some exercise as well. But the biggest thing, watch out for the hot pavement on them. Their paws, they're so gentle. You have to be careful of their paws and make sure they get some exercise, maybe playing in the house a little bit more during the peak hours of the day. And also just make sure that they have some clear and clean and cool water for them to drink. We got to stay hydrated. They got to stay hydrated.
Yes.
For
that is
sure.
so important.
And I love to take my dog on adventures, but never will I ever leave her in a hot car because cars can just get so hot so
and
quick.
so fast. That's the thing. So hot and so fast.
So that's going to be the big thing. But Randy, I also want to talk about the tropics real quick because we have a couple minutes left. And you said you learned something new today, which I'm so impressed about.
I did.
So quickly, just skimming through tropics, no tropical activity expected for the next 7 days. However, we are watching a couple of waves across the Atlantic, and then taking a look here, you can see that bright pink spot near the Caribbean. We're going to be watching that zone over the next week because we may see the possibility of something try to spark up, making its way across the Atlantic, but that's very, very far out of the way right now. So we're going to continue to just monitor everything, but luckily no activity expected in the next 7 days. We have a long way to go in the season, but once we head into about August is usually when we start to see the tropics heat up, and when we start to see that D name, that's the next one on the list, that's Dexter. August 15th, climatologically speaking, is the average date of when we see that D name storm.
I did not. Obviously, I know you guys track the weather very closely, and I know you look at historical trends and all of that as you get us prepared for each hurricane season. I just did not realize that you could track it based on the D names for the hurricanes that have previously, hit areas or we've seen, and how you can map it out to the time on the calendar.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a guide, I guess, because our C name, of course, we had Chantal back in the beginning of July, so it's a little bit skewed. Yeah, of course, you can see normally that C name is August 3rd, and then that D name is August 15th. So we're kind of getting close to that August 15th. We'll just kind of see if it comes to fruition, but it's a good guide out there for sure.
I did not realize.
Yeah.
And so thank you for teaching me something new this morning.
Little bit of a fun fact, but right now, tropics are quiet. That's good news right there. But we just right now have to focus on the heat because, that's the main story over the next couple of days out there for sure.
One thing at a time this hurricane season.
Come on, camera. There we go. Oh, never mind. Hey, you might need to come over here for this. Coming over here for
No worries.
But ultimately, hope you have a wonderful, safe, and fingers crossed cool of a Saturday because it's going to be hot out there.
It is going. We have said. I wonder how many times we have said the word hot this morning.
Yeah, no. If you've been keeping track, if you had a nickel for every time we've said
so
hot,
we're just taking tally.
you're probably making a good amount of change right there.
But as Laurel said, you want to make sure that because it is so hot, you can add another tally. You make sure you stay hydrated, and we look forward to seeing them tomorrow.
Yeah, seeing more of that heat tomorrow.
Tonight.
I'll be back tonight, and you will have Jess tomorrow morning.
I'll be with Jess tomorrow morning, so we look forward to seeing you soon.
Good stuff. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll be back tomorrow.